Hi, my name's Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. In this video, I am so excited to be sharing the step-by-step instructions and tutorial for my 7th sewing pattern, the Clover skirt. The Clover skirt is a dreamy 90s styled skirt with a fully functioning button-up front, and of course this skirt has pockets as well. The pattern comes with 2 length options, an extra long midi length and an adorable mini version, and I honestly can't pick which one I love more. I am completely obsessed with both of them. Plus you can also customize the template pieces to be able to make whatever length of skirt you would like, and I'll be sharing how to do that later on in this video. I'll have a link to the Clover pattern down in the description of this video if you did want to go and check it out. You can purchase the Clover pattern either in physical paper form, where I will actually send you a package in the mail with your pattern, or you can purchase the pattern as a downloadable PDF where you can download it, print it, and get started with sewing it up right away. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video and let me show you how to stitch up the Clover skirt step by step. First things first, you'll need to cut the Clover pattern out in your size. You can find a link to the sizing guide in the description of this video. To save printing and paper, the skirt front and the skirt back pieces are the exact same template piece. However, the skirt back will need to be placed on the fold when you're cutting it out, and the skirt front will not need to be placed on the fold but will instead be cut out twice. Similarly, the skirt side front and back are the same template piece that will need to be cut out 4 times. 2 of these will be for the skirt side front and 2 will be for the skirt side back. To make skirt B, or the mini version of this pattern, simply cut along the marked out lines of the skirt front and back, the skirt sides, and the skirt facing pieces. Once you have your template pieces cut out, you will then need to cut them out in your fabric. Where the template says cut 2, make sure you cut 2 mirrored pieces, and where the template says cut 4, cut 2 pairs of mirrored pieces. If the template says to cut on the fold, make sure that the edge is placed along the fold of your fabric. And once all of the template pieces are cut, it is time to finally start sewing. Start by applying some lightweight fusible interfacing to the wrong side of the skirt facings and the waistband facing pieces. This will help to give these pieces a slight bit of structure and a bit more strength for when we attach the buttons later on. Next, overlock the curved raw edges of all 4 pocket pieces. If you don't have an overlocker, you can simply use the zigzag stitch of your sewing machine instead for a very similar finish. Then with right sides together, stitch the pockets to the skirt sides, matching the double notches together like this. Then overlock or zigzag stitch the raw edges. I personally like to overlock the raw edges to stop them from fraying and to keep the inside of the garment nice and neat. I won't actually be sharing this step throughout the video as it does get quite repetitive, but I do recommend overlocking after sewing each seam. Then once the pockets have been stitched in place, press them out with an iron. Then with right sides together, place the skirt side fronts onto the skirt side backs, matching the pockets together, and stitch them together along the sides like this. Next, with right sides together, place the skirt side backs onto the skirt back, matching the notches together, and then stitch them together like this. Then again, with right sides together, place the skirt fronts onto the skirt side fronts, matching the notches together, and stitch them together like this. And lastly, to finish off the main part of the skirt, take the skirt facings and with right sides together, stitch them onto the skirt fronts, matching the notches together. Once stitched, press the seams towards the facing like this. Next, take the waistband facing and overlock or zigzag stitch the raw, non-notched edge like this. Now it's time to attach the waistband facing to the skirt. With right sides together, start by pinning the shorter ends of the waistband facing to the skirt facings, matching the notches together. Then stitch the waistband facing in place like this. Then, matching the notches of the waistband facing to the notches along the top edge of the skirt, pin the waistband facing in place. When doing this step, make sure to fold the skirt facings onto the skirt fronts like this. Stitch the waistband facing in place like this. Next, turn the waistband facing right side out, and as you do, the skirt facing will also turn right side out, and the raw edge of the skirt facing will automatically fold in and enclose the raw edge in behind the facing. Press and stitch the folded edge of the facing in place, and then press the waistband facing in place. And the waistband facing should now be nicely in place, and the inside of the skirt should look a little something like this. Next, stitch the waistband in place by stitching along the skirt seams like this. To hem the skirt, start by overlocking or zigzag stitching along the bottom raw edge of the skirt. Then with right sides together, fold the bottom edge of the skirt facing onto the skirt front and stitch along the shorter edge of the facing like this. Then turn the facing right side out, and as you do, the bottom edge of the skirt will automatically fold upwards like this. Press this folded edge in place. Then top stitch the skirt facing in place and stitch the folded bottom edge of the skirt in place to hem the skirt. Now for the final step, attaching the buttons and making the buttonholes. For the longer version of this skirt, you will need 10 buttons, and for the mini version, you will need 7 buttons. For this project, I recommend 15 to 25mm sized buttons. Using the buttonhole guide, mark out the buttonhole positions onto the right side of the skirt. Then stitch the buttonholes along these markings. I have shared a full video on how to stitch buttonholes, and I'll have it linked below if you'd like more detail on how to do this step. Once the buttonholes have been stitched, carefully open them up using a seam ripper. Next, overlap the facing edges with the buttonhole side on top and mark out the position of where the buttons will need to be attached. Then stitch the buttons to the left side of the skirt. Again, I've shared how to stitch buttons, including how to stitch them using your sewing machine like this, in another video, and I'll have that video linked below. Then once the buttons have been attached, your lovely Clover skirt is complete. So how does this finished skirt look? If you would like to customize the length of your Clover, simply cut along the length and shorten line of the skirt front and back, the skirt sides, and the skirt facing template pieces. In order to lengthen the skirt, simply separate the template pieces however much you'd like to lengthen your skirt by. To shorten the skirt, simply overlap the template pieces however much you'd like to shorten your skirt by, and then tape the overlapped pieces together, lining up the curved edge of the skirt templates like this. Then, using a ruler, draw a line continuing the straight edge of the top of the template pieces, and then trim away the excess template. And now your template pieces should now be shortened and ready to sew. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you love the Clover pattern as much as I do. If you do have a go at making the Clover pattern, then I of course would love to see it. So be sure to tag me at Rosery Apparel and use the hashtag Rosery Apparel Clover when you share your photos on your socials so I can see them. And yeah, thank you as always so much for supporting my one woman pattern business. Whether you purchase a pattern or simply just watch my videos, all of your support honestly means the absolute world to me, and without which I wouldn't be able to do what I love for a living. So yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm just so excited to finally be able to see your own versions of the Clover pattern. I can't wait to see them, and I genuinely hope you love this sewing pattern as much as I do. Have a lovely day and thanks for watching.